What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cruising in the 808. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Troy Lee Designs A3 open face helmet. This thing came out a couple of months ago. This is their third version of their open face helmet. They have the A1, the A2, and then now the A3. The A3, like I said, just came out, and in fact, they just came out with a couple of new colorways, and we're going to take a look at that today with sort of like an unboxing and my own take on this new helmet. So let's take a look at it. I did open it up already to kind of check it out ahead of time, so I did take off some of the little tags that are on it, but just to kind of share with you some information about this helmet. Like I said, this is the third version of their open face helmet. It has, you know, kind of a nice design to it. They definitely have some of the best looking helmets out there. I mean, Troy Lee, if you ever are into any motocross or BMX, you definitely know who Troy Lee is and the stuff that he does with motocross. And he got into mountain biking, and this is their version of their trail helmet. Now, a lot of guys that are doing SC Bike Life, they're using ProTech helmets that don't have any visor. I wanted something that had a visor that I could use to just kind of maybe block out a little bit of the sun when I ride. I specifically like this helmet because, I mean, I've always wanted to try a Troy Lee Designs helmet, and I actually have like the D4 full face when I was doing some downhill mountain bike riding a couple of years ago. So I've always liked their stuff, and I always wanted to try this one, but their helmets are not cheap. This one is like $225, so it's definitely not a cheap helmet, but it does have this thing called MIPS, and that stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, I think. Basically what it does is there is, inside the helmet itself, there's a section in here that kind of attaches to your head, but then your helmet is still able to move with your head staying in place. And the reason for that is that if you get into a crash, you want to keep your head from moving too much, because that jarring impact where your head moves, that's where you can get some brain damage. So what this does is it allows for 10 to 15 millimeters of movement that can happen on the helmet itself before that energy is transferred back to you. So in an event that you fall, this thing definitely has the technology to help reduce the wear that you're gonna get, you know, on your brain. So it's a really nice feature to have on a helmet, and I highly recommend, if you're looking for any sort of helmet out there, that you look for one with this MIPS sticker on it, because it does have that extra level. Now this one is a new colorway. I think it's called the Sideways. This one is in blue, and it has silver and a little dark gray on it. There is another version in yellow that a friend of mine picked up, and he said he loved the helmet. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet and buy one of these. Just taking a look at it, it's a great looking helmet. I mean, it has, the A3 has a little lower profile for the back or coverage than the A1 or the A2, so they did extend this out a little bit, and it has this really cool system for your head, so that what you can do is you can actually remove some of these pieces in here, the headliner, in case if this just feels a little too much for you. You can put it on, and if it's too hot, you can actually, there are perforations in the headliner in which you can cut out and remove some things for greater airflow. So that's another nice feature of this helmet. Something else that's brand new to the A3 is that you can now move the visor up. So it has a magnet, and you can now stick some goggles. If you are a trail rider and you want to store your goggles and not have to wear them all the time, you can actually now put it here. The other helmets didn't allow you to do that, and that was kind of like one of the drawbacks that were on the A1 or the A2. So they have improved that, and this is a magnet system, and it just kind of clicks up or down, and it actually even goes a little bit further if you wanted to. And there's a little plastic piece right here that covers your graphics so that your graphics don't get messed up when the visor comes up. So that's also another nice feature. It also has this sweat protection system. And they actually give you a couple of extra ones in the box. What this does is it's supposed to create like a barrier between your, between your forehead and the helmet, so that if you sweat, the sweat slides off to the side and it doesn't come down your face. So that's something good if you are someone that sweats a lot. The headliner is also supposed to be antimicrobial, whatever that is, resist germs or whatnot. And they give you an extra one in the box. So if you need to throw it in the wash because it got a little nasty, you can then take this out through Velcro, throw it in a wash, put the replacement one in there, and then you're good to go and you don't have to really wait. So that's another cool feature of this. It does have also this piece right here that will allow you to make an adjustment to make the helmet smaller or larger. This is a medium/large helmet. I kind of have a big head, and so I was a little worried getting this particular helmet. I had to release this thing all the way to the biggest step possible for my huge head. So what am I? I think I'm a 7.25 for if you wear like a fitted hat, but I had to release this all the way to the max level. There was no way that I was gonna fit this on anywhere else. So kind of keep that in mind. It is a really nice fitting helmet. I like that it was a little bit smaller. I have a Fox Speedframe Pro, and that helmet's just a little bit bigger. It does also have the MIPS, and that's why I bought that. I wanted to try to see if I could get something that was a little smaller in profile, and so I picked this one up. And so if you want to see a comparison between the Fox Speedframe Pro and this one, put something down in the comments, and then that can be maybe a future video that I put out here. But another thing it also has is this fidlock system for the strap. So it's a magnet, and you can kind of like easily remove it with one hand, and then you can kind of like lock it up with one hand as well. So it's really nice. It's like a really nice feature to have. Mostly all of the new helmets have that now. The Fox also has this as well. Let's go and try this on now, because that was like one of the things that when I see people reviewing helmets, nobody tries it on. So let's try it on and see what it looks like. So as I said, my head's a little large, and I have this open as much as possible, and you can kind of see where I'm going to have to do some adjustments here to kind of get this to kind of go down a little lower so it doesn't go over my ear when I make that, if I want that a little tighter. But you can make adjustments here on the side, and that's really nice. It fits well. How does that look? Lots of vents, lots of openings for air to go through. I think this is going to be a nice helmet to ride out either on the trail, or even if you're just riding and just cruising around anywhere out wherever you may be living. But I like that it has a visor again. It fits really well. Like, I like it. I really like how this is. I'm just going to have to, like I said, adjust these things here, because this is like not, probably going to have to make this a little bit lower, pull that down a little bit. So I'll be messing with this a little bit to get this fit a little bit better, but that's what the helmet looks like. It's really good. It is expensive though. It's not a cheap helmet by any means. And then within the box itself, you also get a couple of other things. Let's take a look at what else is in the box. Those are the things that came from I took off the helmet. But this also has 2 extra pieces of that sweat retainer, or whatever you want to call that. And then it also has an extra liner, which is also really good to have. And it also comes with a bag, a nice little mesh bag that you can use to store the helmet, or if you want to carry it around somewhere. So you have that. It has extra screws for the visor. And then you also have a really thick owner's manual. Like, I've never seen an owner's manual like that thick before for a helmet, but I'm gonna have to check that out later. Again, part of the headliner, and then a little set of stickers that come with it as well. Okay, so that is the A3 helmet from Troy Lee Designs. You know, I'm gonna have to test it out and see how well the air vents work, and how well I can get this adjusted on the side. I'm really excited to test this out, but it is a fantastic looking helmet. I mean, you cannot, I mean, look at the graphics. Look at that. Look at that, how it's just almost hidden in there. I mean, this thing looks pretty sick. I gotta admit, it looks pretty sick. And it has the MIPS, so I think I'm gonna like this one. I will let everyone know how this holds up after some use, maybe with another video later on down the road. If you like this, please hit the like button, helps the channel out, and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. I'll be posting other types of videos on different types of bike parts or upgrades that I'm doing to my SE bikes in the future. So until then, thanks for watching, take care, and aloha.